If you don't have texture on your skin, you're either an alien or a dolphin. We are human, we have pores. So the other day I was on the interwebs and I came across this Reddit forum with a lady asking, why is my skin texture so rough? I'm 32 and aging like a banana. And she leaves this picture. People were asking everything from, are you hydrating enough? Are you doing SPF? Are you drinking enough water? So it really inspired me to actually create this video to give you my personal holistic tips on how to approach skin texture. And for this video, we're partnering up with VT Cosmetics. They are super popular in Japan. Like, it was on the shelves of every store, as well as in Korea. And I'm gonna share with you guys what I think is the best within their range for specific things. And because it is coming up to Amazon Prime Day sales, they do have up to 60% off. So if you feel like you are textured and flaky, dry and rough, or your pores are being clogged, retinol literally solves every problem. Now the reason is our skin has multiple layers, with the top layer being the most dead, if you will. At the bottom layer, the basal layer, it's actually regenerating new cells, and then it travels up over the course of 28 to 30 days, right, on average, and then it sheds away. And how retinol comes into play is that it supports the natural cell regeneration. And it also helps in the bottom layer with the collagen and elastin production process. So it's actually thickening the density of the skin over time. And it's the only ingredient that will give you that glow glass skin if used right. So it's one of my personal favorites because it tackles like 5 things at once: sebum regulation and pore size, acne and breakouts, exfoliation and dullness, as well as anti-aging and fine lines and wrinkles. And then because of that, it evens out your skin. Now, how do you find the perfect retinol or retinoid for you? Really simply put, the creamier it is, the better it is for beginners. The more active, potent, like serum form it is, the better it is for intermediate or advanced users. So for beginners, this is what you want to look for. Texture is a creamy texture, so in a moisturizer form, because it creates a buffer for your skin. Then look for the ingredient of retinol first, and you want to look for something that's maybe 0.1% or less. And then you can also look for bakuchiol. So this is an example of what you want to look for. This is the VT Cica Retin-A Cream 0.05. It's got both retinol and the bakuchiol, and the texture is so silky. Before I put on my retinol, I'll use the Reedle Shot because Reedle essentially amplifies everything that you're gonna put on top. And I feel like this is a really great way to think of as a skin enhancer, but also to help buffer with some of the calming and soothing properties, because this is just full of centella as well. So it goes really well with your moisturizers. So from the skin prep straight into my moisture. And you see how that just gives such a nice, silky, plush feeling to the skin that's not greasy. So I love it for combination skin, for dry skin, for oily skin. It really is that porridge in the middle formula and texture that all skin types will love. The main ingredient is up here, hydroxyquinone retinoid. So that's actually called gram-active retinoid. And if you guys don't know, gram-active retinoid is my favorite ingredient. Like, I used to use the ordinary one. It is so good because it gives you the effect of a retinoid, which is a stronger version, without the irritating effects. And then VT has formulated this with their Cica Hyaluron, which is a combination of the Centella asiatica ingredient. So merged together, it's giving you the best of what the vitamin A can give you without irritation, and combining it with soothing, calming ingredients, and then using a cream texture as a buffer. So it's the perfect entry, and you don't even have to worry about it being irritating at all. For intermediate and advanced users, you can look for your essence and serum step because that's where you'll find the most potent formulas. For ingredients, you can look for a retinol or a retinoid, tretinoin, or adapalene. All of these, your skin doesn't need to convert through a 2-step process. The skin cells already have receptors that know exactly what to do with that ingredient, and so it's very effective. So this is personally my favorite step, to add a retinoid or just your vitamin A ingredient. This one is the one that I would highly suggest. oh my goodness, I love this one. So it's the Cica Retin-A Essence with 0.1, and it's the same active ingredient, which is hydroxypinoculone retinoid. And I do the method of 3-1-3-1. So that just means I use my retinol for 3 days and then any other ingredient on the 1 day. So that can be a soothing ingredient or it can be a chemical exfoliant, which I'll talk about later in the next tip. So retinoid or retinol for 3 days and you will have no texture. On top of that, this one has a light exfoliation ingredient called PHA, which is gluconolactone. So it's also helping with resurfacing that very top layer of dead skin. And it's also got the bakuchiol and the family of Centella asiatica. So you can see this texture is so nice. It is like a gel cream that really leaves your skin just feeling skin-like and hydrated and soft and supple. This is provided that you already know that your skin works well with retinol, but I just feel like because the formula is so good that even if you're jumping right into it, it will work for you. The Cica really counteracts anything else that could be happening. So the difference is this is just a little bit more potent, but once again, the Grand Active Retinoid ingredient will not give you potential drying effects like tretinoin and adapalene can give you if you don't use it correctly. Next, I want to talk about dehydration. Hydration comes from the inside. It also comes from the outside. Let me talk about the things that dry out our skin. It is the sun. Our skin is a grape, and every time you put that grape into the sun like this, you're drying out the grape. It is shriveling. And that's how UV rays, even if you don't see it on a sunny day, is attacking our skin cells. SPF will prevent you from getting new skin texture because of UV damage. Find a sunscreen that you love to use. We have many videos about it. Which brings me to our external ways of hydration. My favorite is actually a sheet mask. Apart from just your normal skincare routine, a sheet mask really injects hydration into your skin because it physically traps it so that, it can't dry out. I've been mentioning this in multiple videos. Just try sheet masking every day. You will find at the end of the week, your skin is so radiant and it's plump. It is the weekend and I'm gonna do a little face mask self-care while I clean the place. This one's really silky and creamy compared to the Retin-A tub mask. I feel like this sheet itself is actually more of a soft cotton, so I love it. Self-care while caring for self. Okay, after all the chores are done, after every mask, it gives you a brightened, even feeling that not even other skincare can give you. And then there's also the Centella one, but it's very gentle. It has a little bit of fragrance, but the sheet is quite thin as well. And then these guys, which are really interesting because it combines the Reedle Shot essence with the face mask. So depending on which level, they have all three, the 100, 300, 700. But what you do is start off with this little pack here and then put the mask on. So first, going into the Reedle, there's actually a lot in here. And a reminder to avoid the neck. The essence is like this gel essence. It's actually really nice. Fits really nicely. Oh my God, you have to feel this essence. It is so nice. So if you're on the go, you don't want to take the bottles, this is like 2-for-1 whammy. Oh my gosh, these are awesome. 20 minutes later. Next is chemical and physical exfoliation. This one I personally love because we're just getting rid of that dead skin. Let's start with physical because I think over the years it's had a bad rap. So I get a lot of buildup. If I don't take care of it, it gets very crusty very easily. My favorite way is actually through toner pads. So I don't really use anything abrasive like in my cleanser normally, but sometimes you feel that there's still stuff and that's where I'll use my toner pads. VT actually has two types of toner pads. They have the Cica Mild Toner Pad. I've used this years ago. I haven't used it recently, but I know it's very gentle. And just by having a pad sweep through the skin, you're already kind of doing that mild friction to get rid of it. Then they also have the Reedle Shot Synergy Sparkling Toner Pad, where one side is a gauze pad and the other side is a soft plush embossed. And you can start with the gauze side, sweep over, and that will catch any dead skin. It's like we're fishing. And then smooth over it with the other side. Then if you do things like facial, there's things like microdermabrasion or dermablading, both of which I don't really do because one, it costs money, it can be pretty expensive, and two, dermablading just kind of like scares me. Moving on to chemical exfoliation, one of the best ways to even out the skin, help with texture, whether it's like the bumpy texture or the flaky texture. So chemical exfoliation helps with all. And you'll typically find AHAs and BHAs. My favorite ingredients are actually fruit enzymes, and I typically like having that in a cleanser. You can look for glycolic acid, which is probably the most potent one. And if you have dry skin or maybe sensitive skin, look for lactic acid because not only is it going to help exfoliate your skin, but it's also subtly hydrating to the skin. So you're getting the best of both worlds. Sleep. No one likes to hear about, oh my God, get more sleep. But it's in our sleep that our bodies repair, regenerate. And that's me too. Like if I wake up and I didn't get good sleep or I slept really late, my skin is so rough. It is so dull. It is so flaky. And this wasn't the case in my 20s. The older you get, the more you realize you really have to take care of yourself in multiple ways, inside and out. And sleep is the source of many problems. It can cause like dehydration because we're not functioning right. And the final tip I have is services. So things like the microdermabrasion or microneedling, kind of like facial situation. That really does help with skin texture. To get a professional who does it to kind of just start you off on the right track, because what they do is actually use these suction situations and they use these little diamond pieces where it resurfaces the skin. So it really like simultaneously sucks out the dead skin while injecting hydration. And that's kind of like the microdermabrasion service. It can go anywhere from like 100 or more. Just thought I'd throw that in there if, you know, for you guys who are looking in your 30s up. I honestly believe that if you have the right skincare routine with all these active ingredients doing the work for you, you won't necessarily need that. Those are my favorites from VT. Make sure you go onto Amazon and check out all the sales because there's up to 60% on a lot of their products. And if you were thinking about trying anything, stocking up, this would be the time. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any other questions and I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy skincare content like this.